Okay, number 36, fast plant analysis instructions. Now that you've completed growing your fast plants, what we need from you is a report on what you learned, what you discovered. Much like any scientist that travels to destinations unknown, you have to come back with enough information to share with people so they know what it is you discovered and anything you learned about it. So here we're going to start with an opening paragraph. You can do it on paper or in a digital document. Any digital documents you do, please make sure you attach them to number 36 when you turn them in. But you're going to give a general description, and you can read through the paragraph and see, some questions that might prompt your thinking. But, no different than if you had to introduce someone to a group, you're going to introduce your plant to the rest of the world. The data part you've already done. You should have taken data, as we stopped and did, at least 9 times. If you look at task number 27, it spells out the dates and what we did on each of those dates. You'll be submitting those. You're going to make a life cycle diagram. You can look one up online and kind of see the general idea, but they're basically a kind of a circular renewing pattern of plant going from seed back to seed in this case. And so I spell out 5 stages I want you to include on your diagram. The seed, the germination, and that's when those first cotyledons came up. We talked about monocots and dicots then. A stage where it has true leaves. In other words, after the cotyledons emerged, some other leaves popped up, but before it started to grow flowers. Then we want a drawing of a flowering stage, and then we want a mature flower, in other words, a seed pod stage as well. You can do it digitally using any photographs you took. Remember how I highly suggested you take photographs? You could do a digital one or use your illustrations from your data to make your life cycle diagram. Charts and graphs. I ask for 3 graphs. And the last one here, the total number of seeds per plant, can just be a table, or you could do it as a bar graph if you want to. But plant height, number of leaves, and number of flowers over time. There's really only one form of chart or graph that works in this case, and that is a line graph. You might choose to do multiple line graph because I want every plant you've grown represented on the graph. Please, as a caution, make sure that your timeline, your days, is actually has intervals on it the way that they represent whole days. Don't just don't stack one date next to the next date. Pay attention if 3 days have gone by versus 7 days have gone by. You need to make sure that the intervals on that axis make sense. And then also, please make sure your graphs are at least half page big, or you could use the spreadsheet to insert a line chart. I attached a video to number 36 showing you how to turn a Google Sheet into a line chart. And then you're going to collect seeds for each plant. We're going to harvest those and keep them in class to grow for our next generation. So I just need to know how many seeds each of your plants produced. And then at the bottom here, any improvements we could make over our growing systems. Some of them worked well, some of them didn't. It's the first time we've tried this method of styrofoam quads. The next time around, we want to be prepared to improve using the design process. So that's number 36. It's quite a bit of work, but you also spent quite a bit of time on it. It's worth quite a bit of credit, so please make sure that you put forth your best effort.